What up?
Boom shakalaka!
What up, guys? This is Late Night Live. Hope you're still awake. Late Night Live, episode 27. We got Ace of Jacks Media Grounds. Chris, how you doing, sir?
Good. It's hot.
It is really freaking hot. Oh, and you got a visitor.
Yeah, I do.
That's all right. Dathan, 8-bit gaming legend. How are you, sir?
Doing well. I hope everybody had a good 4th and didn't blow off your hand with some Husker Doos and Nipsey Daisers. I hope everything went well, and glad to be on and ready to get to it tonight.
Yeah. And Travis, we got you back, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Ready to talk some games. And yeah, calm 4th of July where I'm at. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is now. Like, I'm going to have a little rant maybe here at the beginning here. Where's my...
Go for it.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
This is my neighbors are just insane. They will launch fireworks not on the 4th of July, but on the 3rd of July. And they will launch them at like 11 p.m. at night. And I do not get it at all. And then last night I thought was pretty calm. But
oh, really? Yeah. I live up at the top of one of these mountains out here. And what's crazy to me is that like last night was cool because I can sit in my bedroom and look outside and I'm eye level with all of like the mortars and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. Except when one of the neighbors down below fires one up and it's like really close to the house. Then I'm like, I go out and I look at my dead lawn and I'm like, when is this all going up? So I end up not sleeping much, But yeah, I have a feeling that tonight will be as action packed as the 4th. We also have that 3rd of July, 2nd of July. Like when you can see everything, you just kind of notice that it's constantly going off,
Yeah.
It's actually been pretty calm around here. But I had to be at work at 4 a.m, so I was in bed at 7. And so all last night I kept dreaming I was in the middle of a war zone. Just the
oh yeah,
like, bombs are going off, and I'm like, am I sleeping or am I awake?
After all the unremarkable dreams that I have, I think I'd welcome a dream like that.
Well,
Like, I think that'd be pretty fun.
I almost downloaded a video to share with you guys tonight. Like, there's always some crazy fireworks thing that goes viral, and I don't know if you've seen it. I'm pretty sure it's from yesterday, but like, there's this group of people that are just out doing fireworks on their street, and then randomly this mortar or something just drops right on them. Boom! And they're like, "Oh my god!" And they had to get out of there. I'm like, Lordy, why?
The
Why is this fun?
The greatest firework video is the viral video is the backup Terry video. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, I think I have seen that. Yeah. That's old, right?
That is a pretty old one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meatball Saucy, you're here. How are you doing, sir? Barbecue and burgers at 5 p.m. yesterday was a little painful. I barbecued burgers tonight. It was pretty good. But yeah. Woo, stay cool.
Yeah, it is warm outside.
Not even, that's not the hottest. Yeah, I think Sunday's the hot. I think Sunday and Monday are the 105, 107 or whatever it was.
Tonight, the theme of tonight is Luigi's Mansion 2. I'll go into it a little bit. I wanted to get into more of the college football game. There's a game that Dathan might like that I pulled, and stuff for Nintendo Switch. More of the Dead Rising stuff. Xbox went offline for a day. Jason in the chat wanted me to share there's a couple petitions going on right now. One of them has to do with that Ubisoft Assassin's Creed game, and maybe that's a little controversy. So that's it with you guys. You guys play any games last night or last week? Excuse me.
I have been playing Final Fantasy 14. Still playing Still Wakes the Deep, Paper Mario, the Origami King. I finally got to the DLC in Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday.
Nice.
Since I had started the game on my second playthrough and was at the very beginning. So that was a nice little jaunt.
You beat the right boss at the end.
Yeah, I haven't. I had just gotten into the DLC, so I haven't played very far in it.
Okay.
And then, of course, I watched David beat it after he died to the last boss.
And
nice. his mimic killed him at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So it registered him as beating the game, beating the boss.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So
that's all that matters, I guess.
Yep. But yeah.
You guys, Dathan, did you play any games last week?
I did. I think I mentioned this last week. I don't want to jump into anything new because with college football coming out, that's going to take up a lot of my time for, I don't know, however long until I get bored.
If the game's good. If the game's good.
I decided to kind of wrap some stuff up on Assassin's Creed Mirage. I think I only have one achievement left, and it's explore every territory, which is you got to do everything in every single territory, which I'm debating, do I want to do it? Because a lot of that stuff I kind of half-assed a little bit when I was going through the main storyline. But I think college football's got, 2 more weeks, so if I got time, then I'll try and finish it, but I'm not too concerned about it. Along with the college football, I'm still kind of waiting for that Nintendo World Championships to make an appearance as well.
Absolutely. Did you see that? I don't have any video for it, but did you see the Nintendo Treehouse they did? It's like half hour.
I did, and I think there were a lot more things that were introduced in the Treehouse that we hadn't seen. Which you have, obviously, I think they said there's over 150 different types of challenges that you can do, and you have to get coins to unlock certain challenges. And I definitely think it's going to be a lot more in depth. And like I was saying last time about the classic remix that came out for the Wii U and the 3DS. Oh, speaking of, not to go off on a rant here, but if anybody has a Wii U console, it's best to power them on, because apparently they're bricking lately. If you haven't had them on in a long time, something with the power inside of them or something is causing them to have power failures. So if you have a Wii U, I would suggest powered on. Just do it. I don't know if it has an update, but just see if there is one and make sure everything is good, because they're not working. I powered both of mine on the other day, and luckily they both powered on, didn't have any issues. So if anybody's listening, you have a Wii U, just powered on just to make sure.
Oh boy. Travis, did you play any games last week?
No,
Harry Potter? Nothing?
No, I actually didn't even play that. I got, oddly enough, into... I asked Eric when I was visiting him, what if there's anything I should watch Star Wars wise, and because I haven't seen any of the series, any of that stuff, right? And he said I should watch Andor. So I think I'm on episode 13 right now. I've been, I guess, kind of throttling through that, and then I did a lot of stuff with my music, because music is another hobby of mine. So I just hours and hours and hours, and with the 4th of July being what it is, that's a good night to be able to crank and play music. Like, people can't complain if I'm doing that night. So it's all good. Yeah, so no gaming. And I was thinking about that, because now I wonder if I jump back into Harry Potter, how long it's going to take me to remember how the controls work. It's been like over a week since I've played it, I think.
Well, we had the same problem with Elden Ring. Like,
yeah,
I was like going around, like, you sprint with the B button, and then I was trying to figure out, like, how do you change your spells? Like, that took me a good like 10 minutes in the menu system. Like, oh, I got to go to a site of grace, and that's how you can change what incantations or whatever, or mimics you want to use. It was like, because I was like, how is this so difficult? I'm not even talking about playing the villains or anything. I'm just like trying to figure out my character.
Yeah, that's part of why I didn't buy that one right away. And I only beat Elden Ring itself like this last winter, I think, or or the fall. And I still, like, I remember thinking that game was a little bit involved, maybe combat wise. I can't remember, but I held off on buying it, because I was like, I don't know if I want to jump into a game that ups the difficulty straight away with no time to learn anything, and then have to remember what I built upon to get to that level before I beat the game, and then just kind of moved on. Yeah. I did buy, though, on the Steam Summer Sale, they had the what's the game with Alloy, the PlayStation game, the Forbidden West?
Oh, right.
Horizon.
Yeah, they had that on sale, so I did pick that up. I still have to beat the other one, though. I think I make it to the same point each playthrough, and then I just kind of quit. Something about it doesn't grab me all the way through, even though I like the time that I spend in it. I just haven't pushed through and beat the thing, and I've heard it's good all the way through to the end.
I never finished Forbidden West either, and I never played.
Well, I didn't beat the first one. That's what I mean. Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Oh, did you not play the first one? Sorry to interrupt.
No,
you didn't.
No.
Okay.
So I'll probably play the Lego one though when that comes out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't play much Elden Ring this week. There was a lot of, like you say, there's a lot of good sales going on, and I was like, I saw there was a sale on Castlevania, that Symphony of the Night game, $4 on PlayStation, and I grabbed it. That is a great game, and I was playing it on the PlayStation Portal, and I felt like it played really good. So, and there's trophies, achievements to get in it, unlike the DLC for Elden Ring, where you don't know what the heck you're doing. It's just tracking your time, I guess. But in Castlevania is such a great game. That Symphony of the Night. Oh, you got another visitor, Chris.
Now, with Elden Ring, I know that with the expansion, I know that you brought up that it didn't have achievements, but does it just flat out have no achievements, or are they all just hidden until you find them?
There are no achievements.
Nothing at all. Wow, that is such a opposite. Like,
well, it's actually par for the course with From Software's DLC for their Dark Souls games.
Right.
Because Bloodborne was the only DLC that had achievements.
Okay.
Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, none of them had achievements with the DLC.
Man, it just must add to the cost of development, I guess.
So,
if you're only making so much off of a DLC, they're like, the $5 it would cost in engineering
it may
time.
also be that they wanted to kind of hide like some of the bosses and things to make
That
it
could be
a mystery.
Yeah, but they could have just made those hidden achievements.
Make them hidden.
Yeah.
Hidden ones at that point.
I heard
that's an additional 5 hours of work. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's $5 of engineering time. We don't.
Well, I heard like a lot for some of these developers. They like enjoy making the game, but like I thought one of the last things you got to do is the achievements trophies, and for some of them I've heard is that it's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I get maybe if you don't want to go that step, but it like a game like Elden Ring, like you can't tell me they don't have the money now from software. You can't tell me they didn't have some kind of funding for that. So, here's a leak Korean. How you doing, sir? I would imagine Bloodborne is the exception because Sony was the licensing partner and probably required it from software.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Chris is getting visitors tonight. So,
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, I played some of that. I checked out some of the new Nintendo Switch games, which I'll get into a little bit. And then my wife is a gamer. She has been playing this game, and it's kind of running joke in my family. 1 or 3. I never played 2, and I still haven't. But my wife is going through all of them, and she's at the final boss right now. Yeah, I love how Luigi is looking at his 3DS right here. He's got a 3DS that he talks with EGAD. But her opinion on the game, the new one, Luigi's Mansion 2, is that the ghosts are easier to get, but the bosses are harder.
Mm.
So I think she's enjoying it, though. She hasn't beaten it yet. She's right at King Boo at the end.
So is this isn't a remake then of a previous Luigi's Mansion? Like
it is. But
okay.
It was on the 3DS originally. I don't know what year.
So that's why they tagged it with HD in the corner of the title and the thing. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
So that's the theme of this show is Luigi's Mansion 2. I did see it's like number 1 on the Famitsu sales charts in Japan right now. I don't think they've released how it's done in America or anywhere else, but it's a popular game right now. So if you're into it, check it out. We got it. Like I say, my wife's really enjoying it. So
yeah, I beat it on the 3DS. It came out originally back in 2013.
Mm.
So it's been 11 years since it came out.
When was the first Luigi's Mansion? That was before GameCube, right?
That was on GameCube.
That was
it was GameCube. Okay.
Was that 2000, 2001, something like that?
No, it was like
2001.
Oh, was it 01?
Yeah.
I thought it was later.
Yep, it was September in Japan and November in America.
Yeah, GameCube. Did you see there was another? I'm going to go off on tangent here, but someone shared people are making out of their old GameCubes. You can they're making it so you can eat your cereal out of them. I'm not joking. Like, yeah, you can eat your breakfast cereal out of a GameCube. Like, okay. I'm just going to move on. Yeah, it was a GameCube launch title. Yep. It was good stuff. All right. I guess I'm going to go on to the game Dathan really wants.
Street here with EA Sports College Football 25. Back for another deep dive. This time we're talking about everyone's favorite mode, Dynasty. Online Dynasty in College Football 25 can accommodate up to 32 teams, and you can play with friends for up to 30 seasons.
So, online dynasty, guys. Are we going to do an online dynasty?
Recruiting.
Of course. We're all getting it for Xbox, right?
Yeah.
To make your program unique.
Can we play? Can multiple teams play as Oregon?
Probably.
Why couldn't you?
I'll play as anybody. I don't care. I just want to play. If we're just doing a dynasty, we should all just pick random teams at that point, or do a draft.
Yeah. Did you see it right at that screenshot right there? Oregon came in number 1.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just want yeah.
Is that them trying to throw a bone after the
right there.
Autzen Stadium ranking?
Yeah, maybe it is.
They're trying to say sorry.
Through the new 12-team playoff and hoist the college football playoff trophy.
Yep, you can play as the new 12-team playoff. That'll be fun.
Unlimited transfers, managing your
Well, the
dynasty.
Xbox
Xbox
there's
version
no
is not cross-play with. I don't even think it's coming out for PC.
Right,
It's
that's
not
what I was
coming
gonna say.
out.
Is I can't do the dynasty because I don't have a console at this point, right? Well, I have a Switch, but yeah.
Fill up your recruiting board.
Yeah, rumor is that it's not coming to PC because EA doesn't want people to mod it, so they have to pay to update the game for the Dynasty and everything.
Oh.
But the PC version would be too easy for people to mod and add their own players in and everything.
Yeah.
But Madden is coming to PC though, right? Does Madden not have the same Dynasty limitations?
Well, I think part of it is the new NIL.
Yeah.
The new college payment thing and everything.
Yep.
However that's working, there's probably something behind the scene where EA is kind of like, yeah, we don't want to end up paying out more money.
Right. So are they going to have? They are going to have actual college player names in this one though this year, right?
Yep.
Like that is part of it. Yeah.
So how it worked out was at the beginning of the year, they reached out to every player and they said, "You can be in the game." You had to go online, you had to sign in, and you got a copy of the game and you got a $600 paycheck or whatever. And I think they had over 13,000 players sign into it, which is good. But one of the questions that I do have is that there are, what do they call it? Like alumni packs and alumni things. So I'm curious if those players who are, legacy legends or however whatever they're called, if they were signed into that same thing, because how far back do you go for this? Is it just, does every team have a certain number of legends that they can play, or how does that work? Because they're
well, you'd think at that point that a lot of those players would have management, right? So you reach out to one of the agents and just see how many players they can get, and then have the agents go do the contacting and get it that way, right?
Yeah.
And then whoever says yes, that's who you add, is my guess.
Because I think with the NIL deal was just with active players that are currently in school. I'm pretty sure that get the $600 and then the free copy of the game.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious because the alumni packs is just like the packs that you can buy on Madden, where it costs $10 a pack and you get a card, or I don't do stuff like the Madden thing, but I'm guessing that's something similar to that.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota for the win. Yes, by the way, that's.
Well, you bring up 2 points. So like, there's going to be that ultimate team crap, which maybe it's not going to be crap. I don't know. It's really fun in MLB The Show. I'm not sure, and they're trying to bring in, like, this is a feature in Madden, like build your ultimate team. The same thing with NBA 2K. But I want to play as my school, so I'd like to play with the current players and see where that goes and build up your dynasty that way. So there's going to be multiple game modes, but I was thinking too, they could do that ultimate Oregon team. They could do the ultimate Washington team. They could have like an all alumni team that got awards and shit. So
Yeah, and I'm trying to. I'm curious because they haven't touched on it yet. Is how many players go? How far back do they go for the alumni? Ultimate teams, and who did how many get to go on each team, or that type of thing. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play because they haven't talked about that
2021.
Yet.
So
that's it.
The Neil deal only goes back as far as January 2021.
Yeah.
So that's where the active players are from the 2021. Those are active players up until the next season of 2025. Is that correct? Because if they're only going back to 2021, that's not really like an alumni thing at that point. That's just
there have been a few lawsuits, and as far back as states and court systems have allowed is for them to retroactively pay people for their name, image, and likeness as far back as 2021. So anybody who came forward and was like, hey, you guys were using my image and likeness back in 2018, they're not covered under the nil. So
did they reach out to these players prior to 2021 and say, hey, do you want to be in the game? Or is that
there's no information on that. So I don't know if that's going to be a case where like what was his name? He won the Heisman Trophy, and then it came out that he'd been paid.
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, Reggie Bush. I don't know if it's going to be a case where Reggie Bush is, his likeness is in the game somewhere, and they had to make a new deal with him or not.
The dream is dead.
Yeah. An interesting thing I did hear about, somebody was talking about EA 20, like sports games in general. And with the kind of increase in live service games, they were kind of talking about the fact that sports games should probably be a live service. You release one version of the game and then you update it through.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing.
Passes.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're going to do seasons. I guarantee it. They haven't talked about it yet, but they're going to, in that ultimate team mode, they're going to have seasons. MLB, the show, does it. And Madden will do it. NBA does it. Like, it's all going to be seasons, and they want you to buy packs.
Yeah.
And to buy the packs, you have to spend money.
But they don't do enough major improvements year over year that they could technically just release one version.
I see what you're saying.
Every 10 years, and
they want that $70 paycheck from everybody.
Yeah.
And now that they got 2 football games, EA is going to be like, all right, here we go.
Except I've heard Madden 24 is pretty bad.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'd watched a video earlier where a guy was playing. He was simulating a game with Cincinnati, and then he decided to go in and actually play the game. Mm-hmm. And when he went in, he was supposed to be on defense, but it was the entire offensive line for Cincinnati was playing defense. So Jeff Burrows was like a defensive corner, and he couldn't figure out why like all of the defensive players weren't on the field, and it was just the offense.
Oh my gosh. So he broke it. Well, I mean, he discovered under the hood why it's broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Meatball Saucy NBA WWE 2K games have shown the way. I would support WWE games, but the last time I tried to show video on this, and Chris knows what I'm talking about, they blocked it. I don't know. Was that week episode 4 or 5?
That was episode 4.
But we played video for WWE 2K, and those sons of bitches blocked the video, so I had to completely cut it out last week, last time. Last week, however, I got a copyright claim on the Wolverine Deadpool trailer.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
really?
I can't play that anymore either, and that's Disney. So
you were playing with fire on
Disney.
That one.
Good job, Disney.
Yeah.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you go back and watch the replay of last week's show, that 1 minute that Wolverine Deadpool trailer should be cut out now. It's silly. So I got to watch what I share. But yeah, no, I would have supported that WWE game more, but sorry, they don't want my help. Anyway, yeah. All right, next one. Dathan, did you had to have seen this one? If you didn't, I will be shocked.
Let me guess, the Transformers racing game.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Galactic
trials begin. Race in alt mode.
So alt mode, like I've never heard of alt mode before, being called alt mode, but it's like that's car mode.
In bot mode.
Is alt mode a thing?
I mean, it's not really called alt mode. It's
basically as an Autobot.
It's basically just robot form and in
as a
car form, vehicle form.
Okay.
Play solo.
Weird.
Play against a friend.
What platform is this on?
A friend. You can only play against a friend, not multiple
I think
friends.
It's on everything. So
this goes right here.
Oh yeah.
Trials.
Galactic Trials.
I mean,
and it's
I don't really. You can put this on the list of stuff I don't really care too much for. I mean,
it's by Outright Games.
So there's a Transformers game that they are working on right now. It's called Transformers Reactivate or Activate or something. And they showed like a CGI trailer, and that's what everybody's waiting for.
Okay.
This is fine for like filler stuff, I guess.
You'll play it. You're gonna play it.
I mean, if it's Game Pass, I'll throw it on their Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. I'll throw it on there. That's fine. I'm not gonna drop everything and go buy it. But yeah, I mean, it kind of almost looks like an app's game or something like that. You can play on your phone a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks really low production value for being that spread across the consoles.
Yeah,
these are the same guys that do Bluey and all the kid games. PJ Masks game. There's my mind's drawing a blank. All the stuff my kids watch.
Well, they're the publisher. So Outright is the publisher. It's 3D Cloud Games is the developer. But yeah, Outright Games developed Coco Melon, Bratz.
Right. Oh yeah. We got that Coco Melon game.
Apparently, there was a JoJo Siwa game. Yeah.
I missed that one.
But so far, 3D Clouds has made All-Star Fruit Racing, Xenon Racer. All they've made is racing games.
Chaotic BPRs in the chat. How you doing, Brian? Thank you for joining.
They've got Paw Patrol Grand Prix. They've got the ripoff of Sea of Thieves, King of Seas.
Well, what I'm upset about is that I'm just now learning that there was a PJ Masks and Paw Patrol game.
Oh yeah.
What?
What am I doing with this Harry Potter crap?
Oh my gosh.
And this is a pass for me. This isn't gonna.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
It just I'll probably be playing Zelda instead of this for when it comes out. This doesn't.
All right.
Zero desire. My buddy Chris, he's a bigger Transformers fan than I am. He may get it for his son.
Wait. There's someone that's a bigger Transformers fan than you. That's insane.
Shocking. Yes, that there are people out there.
Wow. Where's my insane sound effect? I can't find it now.
I mean, if you only this
insane.
all this
Do you realize that?
here,
You should be medicated.
This isn't anything to what else I have. I guess I have another room that's a museum that it's called. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and they're talking about in the chat there is a Power Ranger game coming. I don't think that last publisher is doing it, are they? I think it's like Digital Eclipse or I have to keyboard. Chris, go check it out.
Rita's Rewind.
Yeah, it has to do with Rita.
Yeah, that's the new one that's coming out. And I wonder if that's the beat 'em up that looks like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's coming out. That's coming out this month, isn't it? The on Switch.
Is it this month?
I think it's this month.
I don't think it's this month.
I thought it was.
Yeah, we watched the trailer a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's the beat 'em up. It's just like it's a mystery.
July 17th.
July 17th?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna cosplay up as the White Ranger.
Oh, yeah. The guy that died. Oh no. All right, let's move on. Okay. So the Nintendo Switch stuff. Did any of you guys get to play these yet? Or maybe Dathan.
I didn't play. I've played them, but back in my day, but not recently. Some of these were on the Rare Replay collection, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But there was a game that I think they're going to show after this. It was Solar Jetman, which is a very, very difficult game that I played as a kid. I never got past level 2. This one here.
This one reminds me of a Atari game that we had on one of the arcade 1-ups.
It's very difficult to play.
It doesn't tell you anything to do. You just jump in there and you're a little ship. And then I got hit a couple times, and eventually you become a little spaceman. You're shooting around. But it doesn't tell you anything. Just open space, but then you bounce into things. This game, The Mystery of Atlantis. This game is really weird. It's trying to do Indiana Jones kind of shit. I didn't get to this level. In the first couple levels, you're walking around. It's just a green grass. But then you have to throw things and they explode, and that's the 7th zone, I guess. Mach Rider. So you got a motorcycle and you got a gun. Yeah, that's basically like driving in Southern California, right?
It's basically just the 8-bit version of Road Rash on Sega Genesis is what this is.
Do you have physical copies of any of this? I do have Golf. I have a physical copy of Golf.
I have physical copies of all of them except for the Atlantis game. I've never heard of that one.
Okay. Huh. All right, add it to your list.
I don't even think it's available. Atlantis?
Oh. It looked like it might have been a Japanese game. I don't know.
Oh, there it is right there. Atlantis. It is a Japanese game.
So that doesn't count toward your American checklist?
No, that does not.
All right. Wah, wah, wah. Urban Champion. I did not get to play this. They're trying to be like Double Dragon, maybe? Or Kung Fu. I will say
a lot of these are the black box games that came out. They were some of the early adopter games that came out in the NES's launch window.
Good job on Nintendo for there are quite a few games in that Nintendo app on the Nintendo Switch now. If you're I think that's the first tier for Nintendo Switch Online. There's plenty of games on there now. That's pretty good value. So that's good on them. If you want to just go around and look at stuff in there.
And if you know at least 9 other people with the Nintendo Switch, you can get them on the family plan. Pay $80 a year, and then all of you have access to it. And they don't actually have to be living in the same house as you to utilize it. Yeah.
Someday you'll grow up, maybe someday.
No.
Grow up? Why would you ever do that?
Okay, there was all right. Next topic. Okay, here we go. There was a new trailer for DDR, Dead Rising Remastered. So I'll play a little bit of it here.
What? Did you just say zombies?
So I don't know if you heard the news on this one. So like everything looks really good, but the voice actor that originally played Frank in this game, they did not get him back. They asked him not to come back. They got a new guy. That's pretty crazy to me. Oh yeah, and everyone's impressed. Everyone's impressed by how the dog looks.
They also said they made some quality of life improvements, like you can now move and shoot, which you weren't able to do in the original, apparently.
Yeah, everyone was complaining how the guy was hard to control last time. I know Travis was saying that. September 19th. I love how they gave a date.
Yeah, that's why I never made it anywhere in that game. I bought it, and I just could not get into it because of the controls.
Anyone buy Double Dragon Rise of the... I have that game, but I haven't played it. Sorry, Meatball. I have it on Switch.
I want to get it, but I want to get a physical copy, but Limited Run Games is doing it, so I don't want to wait until I'm 65.
You can get it at a convention.
Yeah.
That's where I got my copy. I have that one, and I have another game that's on Switch, too. There's like 2 Double Dragon games.
Wait, you got the Rise of Dragons, that's the newest one that came out, right? You got a physical copy?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I promise you. I could go get it if you wanted me to, but...
Because I thought that it hadn't come out yet on for physical yet. I knew they were the distributors of it. Because it came out
I do.
Recently, I think.
I'm pretty sure I have 2 Double Dragons on Switch. Yeah. Speaking of limited run, like I have a couple titles like I bought from them, and I just stopped hearing from them, and I put in a ticket. Like where is some of this stuff? They had a convention, Too Many Games, I think in Pennsylvania last weekend, and they were there, but they were showing some of the games that I had ordered that they hadn't shipped to me yet. So I was like, what the I was like, did they miss my order? And actually they did. So 2 orders is missing, and they're gonna I got a notification they're shipping one of them anyway. And but I hadn't bought any limited run in a while because it was kind of gnawing at me. Like I bought this stuff, they're just not sending it. And it said in the shipment notification or whatever, it's like ready to be sent from their warehouse for like months, but they just skipped it.
Yeah, I'll stop by their booth at PAX this year and see what they got.
Yeah,
see if they have anything good. But yeah, I try not to get anything from them.
Yeah, Chris got Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from them last year. I remember that.
I think I got the only thing I've got recently was the Shredder's Revenge, the VHS box, and there was another the Star Wars VHS thing for Switch as well.
Okay,
the Steelbook thing. Is that what it is? Yeah, Star Wars.
I have the big limited edition for Shredder's Revenge, and I was kind of disappointed by it. I think I put out a video on it. Leakrian says the original Dead Rising had one of the earliest hard achievements where you had to kill like 52,000 zombies. Proud that I got that one. Best for that will be improved NPC AI. Yeah, no, I think I know what one you're talking about. Eventually you can get into a car and you start mowing them down on the road. And I think that's how you get that achievement.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. It's been a while. Anyway, all right. Xbox was offline last week for a day, and people were complaining about it. Let's see.
Am I the only one who's concerned that, I want to play an offline game and I
You
can't
guys see this?
sign, like I can't use my shit. I can't start it. What's going on here? This is kind of crazy though. Like this is not it. Maybe because of the save file is saved on the cloud, but why? Like, what the hell is this, bruh?
Bruh.
Well, this is the reason why you should look up every game you buy on Steam. Because if Steam goes down, you can't access them offline unless you first loaded them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, on Xbox, if their servers go down, you're screwed.
Yep.
True story. So I didn't really experience it too much because I wasn't playing too much Xbox. I think it was like Tuesday or something. But when my son got home, the Roblox servers were offline as well. So he was pissed he couldn't play Roblox that day.
Yeah, they've got to change that so that you can play in an offline mode. I mean, that's a valid point. Like, yeah, I'm shocked that Microsoft would actually let that be that way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember
me.
Do you remember the infamous PSN shutdown for like 20 days when they were hacked? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that in the news. Yeah. But you could still play your PlayStation games though, right? During that time period, you just
You just
didn't have access.
You couldn't log on. You couldn't log on to the store or the server.
Yep.
You could,
and that's okay. I mean, well, it's not okay, but you know what I mean. Like that's much more forgivable than just having a bricked console because the online service is off. That's insane to me. And I know that that's what people hate about the new Diablo game. And, well, I think the new one made it past that, but Diablo 3, I think, required you to be logged in, right? Or maybe 4 does as well. And so you basically have a dead game, even though you bought it with the intentions of it being single player. That's, that's wrong, right?
It's kind of where we are as gaming in 2024, I guess. So.
But Steam...
We're becoming too dependent on these online...
Yeah.
We are
requiring to be online, and that's the world it is now.
So with Steam Deck, actually, that's a console that you would want to have your games available for you. Like if you're on a long car drive, like if a kid's stuck in the back seat of a car, right, and then you're heading over the pass and you don't have access. I wonder if those games do work in an offline mode. I actually didn't think about that. I assumed that they did.
I think they do if they're downloaded to your library, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, because Steam does operate that way, at least last time I checked. I mean, I haven't been without internet connection in quite some time.
Keyboard Chris?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more there's a few more steps involved in order to make the Steam Deck work in offline mode.
Really?
Yeah. So in order to do it, you download the game with the latest updates. You want to uncheck don't save account credentials on this computer. You have to enter offline mode in Steam settings. And you cannot shut down the Steam Deck. You can only put it in sleep mode. Yeah.
So that means then that in order to activate it so that it's in offline mode before you go on your car trip, you've got to think to do this with an internet connection. Or else you're hosed, right? So if you're just a kid who throws the Steam Deck in the backpack, sits in the back seat of the car and says, okay, we're 20 minutes into this trip, I want to play my game, you're hosed, right?
So if I power on my Steam Deck right now and I turn the Wi-Fi off, there's no internet, I can't get a game to go on?
That's what it sounds like from Chris is reading.
I mean, just based on what I'm reading here, and this is just like a cursory glance without going like
it's over, Johnny.
Yeah.
It's over.
Because some of these articles are saying that there's certain games that you can go in without having to do this, but not all of them.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, that would be a big oversight because I would think that if I buy something like that, a portable device, that's the one thing that I expect to not have to be tethered to a network, right?
I think in a lot of ways, this is probably why the Switch has been so popular.
Yeah.
Out of all the consoles and everything right now.
So the Switch, I can just take the handheld and, like, if I've got Zelda, it just plays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to have access to the internet. Meatball Saucy says not correct at all. Well, like I said, I'm going off of what I can see here based on what articles are online, so it may not be that way.
You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
That is good if they designed it that way, though, Meatball Saucy, because you would expect that. You would expect that functionality. Like, I wouldn't even think about it. I would just assume and then take off. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, I don't have a Steam Deck, so I can't. I can only go off of what I read.
Disagree with you there.
So,
because I've always had my Steam Deck on. You know, it's always been connected to something online or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, my Steam Deck sits in the living room or on my headboard. I've got mine right here.
Oh, you have a Steam Deck. You guys have them. Okay.
Yeah, I don't use it as much. I've been using mine for just playing Pinball FX on it, basically.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that'd be great.
So I know you can do it on Switch too, but yeah.
I mean, this article here says that Red Dead Redemption 2 is one that you have to play 10 minutes before it's available offline.
Meatball Saucy, you have 3 decks in your house. Oh
wow.
my.
That's way too many decks to have in your house.
Holy moly! You get another airform for that.
A man should never have more than one deck in their hand at a time.
You need one in the bathroom. When you're on the can. You need one like when you go out. You need one for your car. And you need one for your love seat in the living room or whatever. You sit back. So,
well, if you got a Tesla with auto mode, you know you can just sit there and play. You don't have to.
Weren't they disabling that stuff?
I don't know.
I thought that's what I heard. When I'm on the road for work, I take it with me to play. All right, that's cool. You're living the dream, bro. Let's see, what else do I got? I wanted to share. I got a request to share this petition. You guys, there we go. You guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
So there's everyone apparently in Japan is upset about Assassin's Creed Shadows. That it's not taking into, from what I understand, historical context of how samurais were depicted historically, and they are upset about how this game is portraying them. So they've created a change.org. I was going to say GoFundMe. And I looked at it. It's all in Japanese. So luckily these guys have kind of translated it here. But curious what you guys think about that. For me, like, I'm not too upset. I'm probably not. I might play the game. I'm not. I know, Dathan, I think you were talking about playing it.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna get a day one.
Do you think it's a big deal that maybe that this game?
I don't know. If I remember right, aren't there disclaimers before every Assassin's Creed game that specifically says historical events may or may not be exactly depicted from what we're going to be showing?
Right.
Yeah, that's how it was in all of the modern ones anyway, because I just played through Origins, Valhalla, and Odyssey, and they all
have some sort of disclaimer on there.
Well, they also the part of the disclaimer I remember is that if you see something offensive, that doesn't represent the employees of Ubisoft as well, like because there can be slurs and things like that. Although to be honest with you, none of those games contained anything like that. So I actually kind of wondered why that part of the disclaimer was even in there, because they do kind of give it to you like, oh, you might hear some some not so cool slang thrown around or something, or some treatment of people a certain way. And honestly, those games are pretty like they don't go there, at least that I was sensitive to in any way. But yeah, I think they also do say that you have to, that even though some of the characters are real, it doesn't even represent, based off real people, it doesn't represent the events that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think they're covered in that quite a bit,
Like I said, I'm still gonna, I think I'm gonna do the Ubisoft Connect and play the game day one when it comes out. And I can understand why people would be kind of concerned and frustrated with how the game is being presented. But for me, I'm just I just want to play the damn game. That's
it seems so, like, unless I'm misinterpreting what the complaints are, it seems like there have been 3 separate complaints though about this, right? There was a complaint about the historical figure that they were using, just that they were using that historical figure as opposed to having an actual Japanese person as the main character.
Mm-hmm.
That was complaint number 1. Then I thought complaint number 2 was that they were not going to base the historical character in real historical events, so that there was going to be fictionalized events around this historical character instead of telling the historical character's story. And then I guess this complaint, which is a new type of complaint, right?
There's always something to complain about. Yeah. Oh, well, here's
it's just, I'm just surprised that this game has so much controversy around it. Like, maybe the Assassin's Creed games are just that loved, or at least that, like, out there. I'm just surprised that one game could garner so much
because they've ridicule. The Assassin's Creed series has really touched on a lot of historical events and stuff since the very first one.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
So with this one being a little bit, I guess, more for people to be sensitive about, I don't really know.
Well, I don't know if it's people are sensitive. It's the Japanese. But I'd seen a video where there was
kind of racist.
Well, but I mean, that's what this is they're Japanese. The petition was created by Japanese people who said that they're disrespecting their culture.
Yeah, but I bet you people in America have signed the petition now too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they have, but
yeah,
there was a video of they're kind of like a Civil War reenactment group, but they were specific to it was when guns were first introduced to Japan, and it was a specific group. They've taken their flag from this reenactment group and have put it in Assassin's Creed Shadow. In the trailer, you can see the flag, and it's not the actual flag of what was flown during the time. And so they've come out and said that, Ubisoft never contacted their group, never asked them about it. And because of them claiming that it was AI that created the flag, and they're like, no, AI can't do the kanji symbols.
I was thinking AI should just go in there and fix it.
So
just have AI do that.
Then everybody's going to have like 6 hands and coming out of one arm, and nothing's going to look right.
How do you think I get your nipples looking so good in my thumbnails, bro?
Oh, I just thought that was me.
The dream is dead.
But Alicrian does have the actual disclaimer. Now that I'm reading it, I think that is what was in Valhalla as well. It was just that it was developed by a multicultural, group, and that's kind of their catch-all for, like, since we have these people here, don't get offended, like, sort of thing, right?
Yeah, it's I mean, for me, it goes back to the same thing, which is if you're going to have one historical figure, why wouldn't you have the Japanese character be a historical figure too? Mm-hmm. Like, why is one, fictional and the other one's supposed to be based on a real person? It really doesn't.
Oh, you mean as far as having the 2 protagonists in this one?
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to say, hey, here's, as far as the culture goes, here's a Japanese or origin person who's fictional, not real. We're creating this person from scratch, and then we're going to go ahead and throw in this individual who's based on a historical monk, or they were kind of part of a religious group, and they came into the country as an outsider, and we're going to make them based on a real person. And it's like, why would you do it with one and not the other? Like, I don't know, maybe that's where the biggest issue is for a lot of people over in that culture, is that they're saying, hey, as far as the Japanese people are concerned, we just want to write fictional. We don't want to deal with real people, real historical characters. But we can kind of do more over here on this side. So
I just want to play as a samurai with a big ass sword and
have a hip hop songs going on.
Yeah,
because apparently when he pulls out the sword and fights, there's some R&B music that plays specifically.
Oh, in the trailer?
Yeah.
How funny. So then maybe start a petition on that. They could have used traditional Japanese music.
Yeah.
I did sign another change. I didn't sign that one last week. Let me just be honest. I'm just throwing that out there. I did sign the petition to bring Marvel vs. Capcom, the new one, to Xbox. So I don't know if it's probably not going to do anything, and some of those petitions online go nowhere. But I support that. The mushrooms have feelings too. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if it's Capcom does, they do recognize fan service. So
you'd think, you know what? I think if they do that Marvel vs. Capcom compilation, I think it's not going to come this year. I bet it'll come next year. If it doesn't come next year, I think they are screwed. That's kind of my feeling on it.
That's probably a fair bet.
Why do you think that this Assassin's Creed over the other ones is getting picked on more? Like, because Odyssey was not Odyssey. Odyssey was Greece, so okay, whatever. But Origin was Egypt, right? And there were things kind of to pick on in that, I suppose. I'm just wondering, like, this one here seems like an odd duck to get picked on. At least, I don't know. It just doesn't. I just wouldn't have pegged it as like being one that would get tagged as being.
It may also be, if you go back and look at like the first Assassin's Creed, it was
Europe, right?
Was the first one Europe?
I don't know. That's because I jumped in with the new breed. I tried that first one and I
know.
Are you referring to the very first one? Like
the very first Assassin's Creed.
That was Desmond, and that's the Templars and all that stuff.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be of that ethnicity.
That storyline with Desmond went through, I think, 4 games before he ended up dying. I think in the 4th game. Spoiler alert: 4th game. Going forward.
But then Assassin's Creed 2, they had an Italian, and they had, it was in Italy. And then Assassin's Creed 3 was a Native American in America. Yep. And so I think they've constantly tried to, like, if you're going to focus on a culture, you have a character from that culture.
Okay.
And I think
so. You think really that the nuts of this is that,
it's the first one where they're kind of like, well, we have a culture, but we're introducing somebody who's not a part of that culture.
Okay.
Right. And do we think is it because like he's one of the main characters of the game? He's not an NPC that's part of a storyline that comes in just for a few minutes. But I mean, we're going to see this character from the minute that you play the game, I'm assuming, and all the way to the very end.
That may be part of it. I mean, the other thing too is there's a lot of, currently in Japan right now, they are closing off a lot of areas from tourists because there's a major issue with tourists in general going in and destroying historical areas and everything. Like, there's a major area that is got geishas, however you pronounce it.
Geishas,
and they've completely closed it off. Unless you are someone who lives there, you can no longer go and like hang out with these people because tourists were going in and they were touching their clothes, they were touching their hair, And so it may be a case where the country itself, majority of the people in the country are starting to feel like if you don't live here, you don't understand our culture and everything. So
ain't nobody got time for that.
It may just be a case where they're finally getting to the point where, like, if you want to come here and you want to like see what our culture is about, you have to at least respect it, and we're just not getting that. So instead, we're just going to like close off, and it honestly may be a case where people in Japan just don't play Assassin's Creed.
You know who I blame? Hey, you know who I blame?
LeBron James.
Well, Licrian's got some interesting points, though, or at least in the chat. The high expectations for Ninja Assassin's Creed, that's kind of what I was wondering. Whether it was just because this is like a protected sort of, game idea, because, I mean, it's been, and Japanese culture, Japan in general, I mean, with Nintendo, with everything, it's where video games kind of came from, right? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? So that's what I was wondering, if it's because they picked a country that's super passionate, or at least has a group, because my sister-in-law, she's not into video games at all, and she is from Japan. She's, they do definitely have a portion of their population that cares a ton about video game stuff. So I wondered if maybe by picking Japan and history there, they kind of walked into a hornet's nest of like, okay, now you're really going to open yourself up to every type of critique you could. Whereas if you would have put it in Iceland, it would have been like, who cares?
Or maybe if they'd even put it in modern day, Japan, like later on time period, maybe there wouldn't have been as many problems.
I think some of these guys, they want the controversy because we're talking about it now.
I wondered about that too, as if maybe Ubisoft isn't like, peppering the controversy out there.
Maybe I should pay attention to this Assassin's Creed game. Like, that probably brings up their numbers. Yeah, people are talking about it. People are gonna buy the game now. It's gonna be and I was thinking too, the same thing with that Call of Duty game that's coming out. They're going to be doing stuff from the 90s that could be controversial, like doing Desert Storm or stuff after that or whatever. And I think we talked about once, maybe they touch on like doing 9/11 stuff. Like, how wild would that be?
Oh, yeah.
So some of these guys, they want that little bit of controversy to be. They want to be in the news and people talking about them, people sharing it on social media, talking about it on Facebook, whatever. So, it's discussion. It's all discussion. It's good for us too.
And so. I'm excited for the game. I think the game looked fantastic. The environments looked fantastic. I think it's going to be fun.
Is it going to be a throwback to so since I only played the RPG type of Assassin's Creed games, is it going to be more in that, or is it going to be like the old school Assassin's Creed where it's just more action focused?
So what I got out of the 12-minute gameplay trailer was there's two main characters. There's one character who is, I believe she's stealth, like old school Assassin's Creed 1 stealth. Even you can even say is Assassin's Creed Mirage was a lot of stealth. I didn't do hardly any fighting in that game. It was very stealth. The other character is very weapon-based oriented with, heavy, almost like look at Ghost of Tsushima in a sense like that. That's kind of where, so you have two different dynamic characters that are pulling maybe both types of Assassin's Creed games together into one. Now, can you switch these characters at random? I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be different missions that you have to do. I did read that there are now, if you try to stealth kill somebody, the person you're trying to kill can block the stealth kill. So that's a new dynamic for the game. But I think that having these two components together, I think is going to make for a pretty fun and challenging game with everything.
But not open world though. I think it is open world. Oh, it is. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it will be kind of trying to marry all of them.
Yeah, I don't think they could make an Assassin's Creed game of this caliber that is not open world. I don't think they could make that happen.
Because Mirage was not, right? That was level based.
No, Mirage was open world.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's not a very big open world. That's why a lot of people were complaining that the game was kind of short, and they looked at it as more DLC. I think it was only $40 when it came out. If you pull up a map of Assassin's Creed Mirage, compare it to Origins or Odyssey, it's maybe 25% of what those other maps are.
Okay.
Keyboard Chris. That's your new nickname, bro.
Are you fact checking me to make sure I got everything right?
No, I just wanted to look at the because the Assassin's Creed games, as far as the open world, once they started that, they kind of got they get kind of dull quick, the side quests and everything.
Oh, really? I don't mind it. Like I don't know why that is, but something about it for me, even though it is repetitious, like I kind of like it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know when was Odyssey. When I played Odyssey, I was trying to do like all the side quests and everything, and got about 5 hours in before I was like, I'm just gonna go through the story. I don't care about any of this other stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
And so it's I don't know. It's one of those weird ones where I'm kind of like open world games in general, like majority of them have gotten to the point where it's like, okay, we've got 3 different side quests you can do. We need you to go from point A to point B.
Yeah.
We need you to collect item XYZ. And then we need you to go talk to this person and take them over here. And that's all they do anymore. And I'm kind of like, I want to go back to linear games. Got time for that. You know, that just take you through the story and that's it.
I think what I want is more like the Ultima style back in the day, where you'd have like these side quests and they actually had like little stories attached to them. So they weren't so much like go fetch quests where you got one little thing like, hey, help me out here. Oh, thank you for helping me. Instead, there was more storytelling to it. Like they felt like little sub adventures in like Dungeons and Dragons or something, you know, where there was actual story to it. I think that's where these games get a little lost on that, because I like to have a lot of adventures going outside of the main story. I feel like that's good value for my money. But I don't like it when, and yeah, it is funny because you're right, the Assassin's Creed games don't do a good job of this, but where there isn't story to it. And then every once in a while you get one of those side quests where it breaks off into an actual story and you're like, oh, that was really cool. But that just tells you, to your point, how rare that is. Like usually they are just fetch quests and things, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the one that really irritated me the most was Fallout 4. You know, it was the side quest. The guy was like, "We need to go save this group of people," and then he'd show up, and he'd be like, "I need to go over here and save that group of people."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Can I just shoot you in the face and call it good?
That was embarrassing.
Yeah. It definitely, yeah, it's interesting. Now, the new Baldur's Gate did a good job with that. I mean, it was loaded with quests, and I felt like each one had, I mean, maybe on third playthrough, I would start picking it apart, but it did feel like each one had some merit to it, right? And I think that's what these games need to get back to, it is remember that at the end of the day, the subquests, the side quests are there to progress your character level wise and experience wise and gear wise, but it should also be there to serve entertainment for storytelling as well, I think. And I think that's where the modern open world games are kind of losing out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting though.
I think there's only one person that could actually solve the debate about Assassin's Creed, and that is Eric. I wish he was here to to take care of that for.
Eric, are you watching? Where are you?
I think late at night he'll watch it, or tomorrow.
Because I know for a fact he would have a pretty good opinion on the whole thing for sure.
Is he out there?
I didn't know he played any of them actually.
I don't know if he did or not, but he would definitely have I think he'd have a strong opinion about the petition and the culture of the why
I thought he just played
bringing it up.
I thought he just played Darkest Dungeon. That's all I heard.
That is a long game. Yeah.
Anyway.
Meatball Saucy, the Fallout TV show had Easter eggs, but it didn't. They didn't really do like any fetch quests. So
that'd be funny if they put it in the TV show, the fetch quests.
Well, I mean,
whole episode is a fetch quest.
I guess in a way, the entire season was a fetch quest.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's actually really good.
It's not like The Acolyte?
No. Which I am caught up on. And the most recent episode, I was kind of like, yay, we're back to meh.
I didn't watch the last one, but good job, Chris. I'm proud of you.
I'm your Huckleberry.
We're very good. Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to touch on more Goonies stuff before we go, because I did a short on you guys talking about the Goonies last week, and that gave me like 11 subscribers. So do you guys have any controversial Goonies takes right now before we go?
Josh Brolin hates his role in that movie.
Whoa, what?
Yep. He has actually said in an interview that he hated the fact he was in that movie.
Oh, no.
Which is, I don't think he's terrible. I don't think any of the kids are terrible actors. I'm kind of surprised Bill Belichick is in the movie.
What?
Yeah. You guys haven't seen Bill Belichick? You know,
is he dating the 24-year-old girl?
No, he played the mother. He played the mother in the Goonies.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Where's my rim check? There we go. Good one. No, good show, guys. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap things up? Ooh, it is hot in here. I'm sweating.
The only thing I can think of is Marvel is going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. So you can expect
tickets?
No, I'm not. I went to San Diego Comic-Con one time, and that was one time enough. Never again. But you can expect a bunch of Marvel announcements, and there was a 40-minute screening overseas of Deadpool Wolverine. And so spoilers are leaking online, so if you see anything, be careful. They're starting to do their thing.
No, God!
Oh, I did see. I was gonna share. I did take my kids to see Despicable Me 4 the other day. Oh, yeah, Chris, what are you showing here?
Yep. See. Tell me that doesn't look like Bill Belichick.
That is the same guy. Wow. But hey, he's dating a 25-year-old, 24-year-old cheerleader.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
Whatever, he knows how to get it done.
I mean, when you've made that much money as a head coach, yeah, I'm sure.
I had the most random dream once that this is what I guess my final thought here. The most random dream once. It was super realistic. It's one of those where you wake up and you think it actually happened. That I was out in like New Hampshire and with my wife, and I ran into Bill Belichick and his at the time fiance or significant other at a grocery store, and he invited me to his cottage, like his oceanfront cottage, for dinner. And I sat and had dinner and sat by the fireplace talking with Bill about all of the things behind his coaching, NFL history, football history, all that stuff. It was the most random thing ever.
And you couldn't leave his house because
of the implication.
There was just so much. There was just so much history and knowledge there. It was like just picking his brain over everything, right? And he was super friendly, and he was like, "Oh, that persona I put up in press conferences." He's like, "I learned my lesson after coaching my first gig in the NFL that I let my guard down too much in press conferences. So when that didn't work out and I got my second go at it, I changed the way that I acted to the media and gave them nothing. And it's worked for me ever since." I do remember him telling me that. So yeah, it was a very interesting dream, I guess.
Well, did you see when Bill Belichick met his new girlfriend or whatever, and she got his autograph? He signed his name, Coach Bill Belichick, and then he wrote on the bottom Super Bowl champion, and then he wrote all the years for her. He wrote like 2005, 2006, 2007. Like, it's like he knows how to play it. So yeah.
I did not, Maple. I actually don't. I don't remember that aspect of it. I remember the media conference, or the media way that he addresses the media. But other than that, I don't remember much else about it. But I remember waking up and being like disappointed that I wasn't like best friends with Bill Belichick now.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those where I was like, oh man, that's not gonna be another repeat every Thanksgiving sort of thing. Oh, but I do want to know. So when I'm done with this Andor, since you guys are all caught up with these Star Wars things, is there another one of these episodic things that I need to watch, or can I just call it a day with Andor and leave it?
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
They do have the second season of Andor coming out here soon.
Okay.
I don't
but
know.
But like Mandalorian and Ashoka or whatever, they're not worth watching.
What are you talking about?
So the first season of Mandalorian is actually pretty decent. The second season has kind of ups and downs, but the last episode is amazing for the second season. After that, just ignore it.
Just quit.
Okay. Yeah. Boba Fett was pretty bad.
Okay.
Ahsoka was one of those weird ones where unless you watch Star Wars Rebels, the cartoons and everything, there really isn't a whole lot of like, it's a fan service series for a lot of people.
Okay.
And I mean, the most interesting character in that one was played by Ray Stevens, and of course he passed away. So if they do another one, unfortunately he's not going to be back. So I don't know. It's there was a lot of information I was missing from it because I never watched the animated shows. So I was kind of like, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know who this person is. Why do we care about this one? And I think overall, that's the biggest issue with the Star Wars Disney stuff is that it's either all connected or it's all disconnected, and trying to figure out what's connected and what isn't is a multiverse of madness.
The dream is dead.
Approach. So
okay.
I got
Mandalorian,
a lot of
maybe.
with you people.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
That's what I take out of that.
Might be a good one.
Okay.
I got to finish Andor. I really appreciate that one. I thought that was doing a good job. So,
did you guys see that there was a whole thing about the guy that played Boba Fett in the new one, Temuera Morrison, or what is his name? The guy from New Zealand, the older guy.
Yeah,
he was complaining that the guy from not Book of Boba Fett, but the other one,
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. He was complaining that the Mandalorian got to be on his show, and he didn't get to really be on the other show.
Oh,
so it's like, geez, like how petty are you? Like, who cares? Like, I don't know. Like, he's just. I think it sounded like he was just pissed. Like he got his screen time got cut into by Mandalorian.
Well, they kind of neutered Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. And so the character, everybody was so excited because, Boba Fett was such a huge Star Wars character from the old movies where we only saw him in 2 or 3 scenes.
Yeah.
There was no backstory. No. It was just kind of like, here's a bounty hunter. He's kind of got a cool ship called the Slave One, which of course Disney had to change the name of once they got the name Star Wars rights. And they're like, oh yeah, Book of Boba Fett. Everybody wants to watch it. And he ends up being the Godfather, I guess, during the entire series. He's just kind of sitting there. He's like, yeah, I've done everything I can, and I'm now in charge of this area of land. And it was like, where's the bounty hunter? why couldn't you make the series about him being a bounty hunter? Why did we have to do this? So I don't know.
Oh, real quick, I want to share this. Now that we're talking about Star Wars, my mind. This is. Can you guys see that?
That's the HasLab thing. I've seen that.
Yeah. So this is like the most ridiculous HasLab I've ever seen. You're gonna do This got funded today, apparently. You're gonna do
Star Wars. Pretty much anything that they do crowdfunding for these things. They always get funded.
They tried to do crowdfunding for the Rancor, Rancor, and they didn't get funding for it. I think the last couple they didn't get funding. Thanks, Meatball Saucy, for coming on, bro. But like, I think this is the most ridiculous one they've done so far, and it got funded, so I'm shocked. But I don't know. Like, as a kid, like, did you want to have a playset of the bar in episode 4? Like, I don't know.
No.
Like, for me, this is a big no. And I don't know.
They did make the cantina though, right? Like out of the setup action figures, right? Because I remember the cantina. Well, I mean, they made action figures of like every character, but I remember the cantina guys, like the band, being action figures that people bought. So did they do the cantina proper, like back in the day?
I don't think it was to this level.
Okay.
Would you pay $400 for a cantina?
No.
That's insane.
That's a little bit. Well, what's the scale? Are we talking 7-inch figures? Are we talking?
It's the 3 3/4 scale. Like the original.
This is not. I don't.
I love that vintage style size, but like, no, this is nuts. I would rather have a Lego set than this. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
So, yeah, that's where my collecting ends. All right. Stop sharing. Okay, here we go. Thanks, guys, for coming on tonight. We had a good show.
Yeah.
Give this video a like. Consider subscribing if this is your first time. Asa Jack's Media Grounds. Go ahead and plug your channel, bro.
Yeah, come over, check out Asa Jack's Media Grounds. I got movie reviews, or movie recommendations. I don't really do reviews because I just like to recommend things that I like.
Basically, it's a review.
Yeah, whatever.
Only the thumbs up.
Some game playthroughs. I am going to be starting the Twilight series. I'm probably going to record myself watching them and then edit them down.
Wow.
So we might see my slow descent into madness as I go through that, because I have never seen them.
You might really like it. That's going to be the best part.
I may,
what if you get turned on by it?
My nipples will be hard, man.
You think? Yeah. Oh God.
So yeah, let's.
This one. All right. Okay. All right. Dathan, any final thoughts before we go?
I can't think of anything. Everyone have a good weekend. Good. Stay cool
Travis?
if you can. It's warm.
Yeah.
No, I already had mine.
Okay. Cool.
Mandalorian, maybe.
All right. And then there's someone spamming us. Great. Okay.